Warm-up's been feeling like shit all the way up to that 195 that I just did. It kind of moved similar to what I did last week. Felt like it was gonna go well. I got a lot of sleep last night, which was a problem last week. I did have some cheese, but I didn't have nothing heavy. But I did make carbonara, but I'm not cramping, so we're not cramping. And I did get a lot of sleep, but still, bench wasn't moving well. Like even from like when I reviewed my last warm-up from last week with the two reds was like moving really well. And as soon as I got to two reds, it was like, this is not going to be a good day because I was just missing positioning every time. So I felt like today I would have a good chance of at least doing what I did, because last week I didn't have the bench mat on when I bench, and this week I got a bench mat on, so I'm way more stickier. My range of motion is way more tight than last week. Not even way more, just a little bit more tight than last week because of the bench mat. So I was hoping to do at least like 1.2 increase. So I'm probably gonna still try to do that on bench today. So get to like 222.5 at max, or half of that, or just do the same 220, because I wanna consistently chip away at my 1RM week to week, even on a day like this that I'm feeling bad, and hopefully the RPE doesn't go up as much. 480 that I did last week, the 45 I believe, 220, it felt sloppy, and I noted that. So if I'm feeling pretty bad today, I gotta stay dialed in the whole set. So I did warm up my hip flexors too, and so I can get my legs tucked behind me, because that was an issue as well. But overall, it seemed like it's getting to feel a little bit normal again, so I'm hoping that I can get above that, but it's not looking like I'll be able to do more than 220, but no rambling. Let's smoke this 210 and let it decide where we go from there. It doesn't seem like we're going above that. If I'm gonna be honest, that 210 was at an 8. That's crazy though. So like last week we did 220, and it didn't feel that bad. But today, if I'm gonna be honest with myself, this isn't an 8, and I think that's what we had on plan here. So this is very hard. This is a very hard pill for me to swallow right now. Like, to put this as an 8, very, very, very hard pill to swallow. So yeah, on plan today, I had 485 for a single to do at an 8. Then 420 for 4. I think the best thing to do here in this scenario, except that this is an 8, and like don't build up too much fatigue right now on my joints, because for some reason I just can't push as hard as I'd like to, right? And do the 420 that I have for last week for 4s, because what's gonna happen is I'm gonna go from this 210, go to 220, fail it or get it at a 10, and it's gonna build up so much fatigue that I can't even do my back down work of 420 for 4. And that's where I'm gonna actually get like something out of training. Like I'm just building up fatigue with single. And yeah, a single is only supposed to help you indicate where you are on your max. It's not for you to come in here and like just move heavy weights. So if I'm gonna be honest with myself, we're down 10 kilos from the week before. I'm gonna accept that. 210 seems to be what we have for 8. We're gonna stay in the pocket and try to push squats that we failed last week. That was a good call. That was our RP7. So I'm gonna keep the weight. That was good. So we didn't get a top set of 220, but by keeping 210 and accepting that was the 8 for today, I was still able to do 190 for my set of 4, which is gonna help me way more than doing 220 as a single. Was gonna help me. I'm building next week. I wanna get at least, being that I missed this week where I wanted to get like 221.5 or 222.5. Next week I'm hoping for 225, so 495 to end off the block. So I'm still building momentum, and hopefully that's there, because I already know I can do 220 from week 1, and I was at an 8. So I should be on paper capable of doing 225, but can I do 225 at an 8 next week? So next week, got to make sure everything's checked off. We're not having any cheese on the weekend this time, and sleep is on point like it was this today. And yeah, I think In terms of positioning, from last week when I was complaining about like my feet, actually, I'm gonna talk outside. It's a lot of music right now in the gym, and I don't want to give myself more work for editing. Oh, that last set there, that first set of 190 moved pretty good. I will say it probably moved better than last week's 190 because it did move at a 7. All the speed on those reps were at a 7 speed, but I could sustain it. So I don't know how to describe that. So it's not moving very fast and slower and then slower and slower. All of them are on the same speed, like every single rep. So I don't know if that's just a tightness thing, like I can't express more today than I wanted to. So I'd probably, like, what I'm thinking is I could probably do 210 for a double or a triple or whatever today and have it still move at an 8. Probably a double and still have it move at an 8. But I can't do 220 and even get it. So it's one of those days where I'm probably better off doing rep work than doing the max work that I normally do. So I don't know. That wasn't the case last week when I did these. Last week the problem was we were a bit too sloppy on the descent. I was dropping the weight and I needed to be tighter, and also my hip flexors were tight and I needed to tuck a little bit more, which I did do. I think on that first set I wanted to get my butt up, and then I start thinking mindfully, let's keep it down. But last week my first 190 moved at like a 6, then a 6, then a 6.5, then a 7, then 7.5. Like it gradually went down, like diminished. But today it sustained. Like it just sustained at like a 7, like a solid 7 RPE speed from rep 1 to rep 4. So that's pretty good. That means I'm still strong. Probably just really tight, or I don't know, might be something with my shoulders. I don't really know. I need to figure that out because that's actually pretty interesting. But yeah, so far setup is good. That's good. That means like my squat might be there. The goal for squat this week, even though last week we had 650 as the plan, being that I only got 275 and then failed at 295, I'm thinking let's just work up to 280 and then get our back down work with 500, so 230. So we're going to work up to 280, drop 50 kilos, and get our back down work done that we didn't get done last week. And that would be a huge win. We PR by 5 kilos within the block. We increased by 5 kilos within the block, so that's good. We actually got the back down work done. If I'm feeling better, then the whole, like all this shit's no, but that's the mindset, that's the plan for today. For squats. But yeah, hopefully I can keep moving these 190 at around 7 speed, because if I can keep like 190 for 4s out of 7, then I will definitely be stronger next week. So for me, especially, like if anything I do, as long as it stays within a 7, like sharp, it's a sharp set, and I'm doing my rest intervals for like 2 to 3 minutes, like the next week is always good. So despite having a bad day today, I know if I still sleep and I'm not sore, coming in next week, I'll have 225 for sure without doing it today. Like I'll for sure have 225 and probably have it at a 8. Hopefully that's the case, and maybe even more. Sometimes I have really, really, really good turnarounds where I dip and then I'm back. And then we deload. So it's going to be kind of like an undulating kind of thing for this block, because we went up 220, dip 210, shoot up past that 220, and then we're going to dip again because it's going to be my deload. So that's going to be the whole structure for today. But yeah, probably not going to stop the camera again to talk, seeing that I have to come outside and talk with you. So let the video run for the next 2 sets, and then I'll probably start recording again once I get to what I think is going to be my last warm-up for squat. So if I'm going up to 280, it's probably going to be 255 or 260 today. So yeah. 280 didn't move that bad. Moved about the same as 275 moved last week. Kind of similar situation going on with my bench today. That didn't happen last week. Things were moving pretty fast. I could go closer to the top end, like a true 8. But today, I was just stuck. Not cramping, but I do find trouble bracing. I do kind of feel like some ab soreness or like a kind of cramp sensation when I go to try to brace really hard into my abs. The plan was updated for today to be 606 out of 8. But instead I took 617 at that 8 because it did move the same way as 275 did move. And then afterwards I was supposed to do 525 for my sets of triples. So 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of triples. I'm gonna do 530 because it's only 5 pounds more, and I went up about 5 pounds more than I was planning to do. That was written on plan. Was it 5? No, 10 more pounds. So I went up 10 more pounds on my top end. So I think it's reasonable to go 5 pounds. But honestly, it's just I took off the blues. And when you take off the blues and you have the greens, it's 530. So I'm like, yeah, we can do that. I wasn't expecting to be in the best shape today. So what I did do different as well on squats was I did put the height a little bit higher than I did the weeks prior. So usually it's 12 inches off the floor that I do the bands, and today with this different rack I did 13 inches off the floor. It does have a segment where I can get it to like 11 and a half, so even deeper than the 12. So I said, you know what, I don't want to get deeper than 12 because 12 is already hard to catch. So anyways, we're going to do these 530 triples now, and that would be it for today. Hopefully they move well. The goal for this is to have them move fast, but I think I'm topped out at a certain speed today on squats as well. I think, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to move things faster than I did 260 at this weight. So we'll see. Let's get to it. All right, that's it for squats. Catch you tomorrow.